I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable or anything. I'm just trying to help. Do you want me to change her diaper or not?
No, I'm sorry. I don't want you to.
Alright, that's fine. It didn't have to become something weird, you know?
I know. And I don't know why it is weird for me. I don't know what the issue is when it comes to you and Charlotte.
I don't know why it's weird either. Because I was just awarded custody with you of Junior. I've been turning my life around. I think I've somewhat proven that I've changed. Yet, you're still weird about me going near Charlotte.
I guess it's because deep down I still know that you don't like her. And it's hard for me to let someone around my daughter when I just know that you don't care for her.
What makes you think that though? I know we spoke about it and stuff and I told you some of my feelings, but in terms of my actions towards her, what really conveys to you that I don't really want to be around her?
Because there are just little things you do, Joey, like calling her the baby a lot of the time instead of her name, or, you know, she'll cry in the room and you won't even look at her. It's clear you're pretending she's not even there. Or if I bring her up, you kind of subtly change the subject, or, I don't know. It's just clear, very clear to me that there's something there for you against her.
I guess I didn't really pick up on those things, and I gotta work on that. But it's impossible to work on that when I'm not like, I know you don't want me near her. You know what I mean? So when I know you don't want me to go near the baby,
see, the baby, again, you called her the baby, and I genuinely don't think you're doing it on purpose, but that's a sign. You know what I mean? I kind of used to do that with Melissa's baby, Chris.
When I know you don't want me to go near Charlotte, it creates this barrier. And it kind of makes me feel like, oh, that's Brian's. And I don't mean to refer to her like that, but I'm saying like, oh, she's Brian's. Hands off. Stay away. That's Brian's special, you know, don't cross the velvet rope. You know, it's a museum. It's a shrine for him. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, well, that's really not it. That may be how you perceive it, but the difference between you and me when it comes to Charlotte is that I look at Charlotte and I see an individual little girl. I don't think of Brian at all. Maybe occasionally, but it's way more me thinking about her as who she is, as a separate entity from me and Brian, than me thinking about him. It has nothing to do with that, I don't feel.
Okay, so the only let's clear it up. The only reason that you don't want me to hold Charlotte, feed Charlotte, change her diaper, any of that, it's because you sense that I have animosity towards her. That's the only reason.
I don't know. I guess there's other reasons too.
The other reason, which I know you don't want to admit, is that you still feel like you can't let her near me because of Brian, because he told you, don't let me go near her. Correct? Like, you can say that and it won't piss me off.
Yes. I guess there is a part of me that, for whatever reason, I know it's a little irrational at this point, but I do feel like I gave him my word that you wouldn't be near her, and I still feel like I have to uphold that.
Okay, so can we both admit that we have things to work on when it comes to Charlotte? Can we just leave it at that?
Yes, Charlotte remains to be that one aspect of our relationship that sits on wavy water, and we both have to figure out how to navigate that.
Alright, and I didn't mean to upset you or rub you the wrong way or anything like that. I completely understand your devotion to him. If I told you, well, I mean, I didn't really want him going near Junior. But I don't know.
No, what? Finish your thought.
It's just something I realize right now, I guess. That, like, I didn't want him near Junior. And I didn't really have a say in that. And I don't know, I made worse decisions than him, I guess. So I didn't get that say, right?
Yeah, and Joey, when Brian was in the picture, you and me were no longer together. He was here.
You're not together with Brian anymore. yet you feel like you owe him the protection of Charlotte. Like, you still are abiding by what he wants you to do. And when I said I didn't want him near Junior, he became his stepdad. Legally. Like, he had a stepdad provision added to the custody agreement. I can't even change Charlotte's diaper. Again, I'm not trying to make you feel uncomfortable. I'm just... Isn't it normal to, like, vent these things and talk about these things?
Yes. Yes, honestly, the way that we're talking about things right now is less stressful to me than the way that me and Brian used to talk about things.
And I think we should talk about these things because, you know, we have the case manager going to be checking in on us, and I don't want him or her to sense that there's a weirdness, that I'm not allowed near Charlotte, this and that. Don't we want to portray that we have a nice home?
Yes, but can I also say this? That there's that other aspect where, with Brian, he was very genuine with Junior. I felt like he genuinely cared about him and treated him like his own son. With you and Charlotte, I don't see you ever being that way with her. Does that make sense? And I'm not saying that like I'm upset or anything. I understand you both are two different individuals and it's two different situations, but that's another reason why I feel weird letting you go care for her, letting you go change her diaper.
So you think that Brian was genuine with Junior, that he actually cared about him like his own son?
Yes, Joey. I know it's hard to hear, but there was a point in time where he believed that he was infertile and that he was never going to have a child. And he totally dissociated the fact that you were Junior's dad. Yes, there was a little bit of a mess there when he got a paternity test and all of that, and there were things I didn't agree with, but for the most part, he played with Junior, treated Junior just like it was his own child, and took him out of the mess that we all had. It wasn't about like, oh, that's Joey's son, or whatever. He just cared for him.
Alright, instead of arguing about that, maybe you're right. Maybe he did take the Junior quicker than I'm taking the Charlotte. But does that mean that my feelings aren't valid? I'm sure there are plenty of like stepdads out there who look at a child and from another person and feel some type of way a little bit and have to work through that. Like, again, I'm not over there like spitting on her or anything. I'm not like mean to her. I feel some type of way, I guess. And it's my mind, maybe he had less mental health issues than I do, but when I look at her, I think of the pregnancy announcement. I think of all the times y'all were together, all the posts that you made, all the feelings that I had. Like, it comes back, and I'm just being honest about that. I would assume that my feelings are valid too in this situation. No,
Joey, you know what? I felt the same way with Melissa's baby at times. I think it's a tricky thing to deal with, and maybe when Charlotte gets bigger and she has her own personality, she won't just feel like this baby that belongs to Brian, and you'll see her more as a person.
And I'll also say, like, even if I was trying to make an attempt with her, even if I started to genuinely care for her like my own child, I still feel like you would feel some type of way around me, you know, me being around her and stuff. I still feel like you would be guarded.
Alright, well, Joey, you have to expect that there's going to be some hesitation on my end with you. Still, even as far as we've come, I still see you sometimes as the man I divorced, and I have to get past that. There's nothing in this house that belongs to Brian or is a remainder of his in a way that shows he was here, except for her. So I'm obviously going to be super protective of her, because I know how you feel.
Okay, you're right. You're absolutely right. Me and him are two different people. I did way worse things. I have a lot more redeeming to do. So you're right. And I won't push it anymore. I was just trying to move things along so that when we have a caseworker here, there's no weirdness. But You're right. I still have a lot more work to do and a lot more trust to gain. But those are my feelings towards Charlotte. And again, if I had to save her, from falling over a bridge or something, I would do it. I don't hate her guts. She just engenders these memories in my head. And it's just hard for me. That's all.
Okay, I get it. We have to work on it. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't really feel comfortable talking to you, especially behind Miranda's back. So I would appreciate it if you just wouldn't call.
You just listen to me for 2 seconds.
Yeah, what is it? Can you please just make it quick? Because I'm really uncomfortable by this. I apologize to you. That's all I wanted to do. Miranda doesn't want you in contact with the family, so I think I should respect that.
It's a lot harder for me to not be around my grandkids than I realize, and believe me, I wish I wasn't talking to you right now, because you're the reason for all of this. But I was trying to think of a way or something that would benefit you to let me see my grandkids, and the thing that I thought of was, I lived with Brian and Miranda for quite some time. I know everything about their relationship. I have seen the good, the bad, the ugly, and I'm willing to share whatever information about their relationship that you would want in exchange for me to see my grandkids every now and then.
Nah, I'm sorry. No.
I know that you still harbor a lot of resentment towards that relationship. I know you have questions, and you probably obsess over a lot of things, and I have answers. I can help you. I can. All I care about is my grandkids. I'm just asking for a few FaceTimes.
Look, I know what it's. I dealt with my mom not being able to see Junior, and I know how she was when she lost the ability to be around her grandkid. So I can only imagine what it's like for you to lose access to both your grandchildren. I can't imagine that. But and I'm sure it's making you do desperate things. But for me to agree to something like that maybe the older version of me would have done that. But I'm sorry. You have a better chance reconciling with your daughter than me agreeing to something like that.
I will never talk to Miranda again, and she will never talk to me again. Believe me, I didn't want to talk to you. I just miss my grandkids. This is very hard on me. They were pretty much my identity, just like your mom.
Kristen, you made your bed with this. Miranda told you if you took her to court, you would cut off, and I gotta respect her decision. So I wish you all the best. Brian, it's me. Nice to see that you actually own up to a phone that you own. I'm calling because I can't live like this anymore. With the unanswered questions and the BS excuses that you've given me. They just don't feel sincere or real. I don't buy any of it. And I know you're in the military. I know you're busy. But I have not bothered you. I have not pursued child support out of you. I have not bothered you with the custody stuff. And I have not gotten anything in the mail about a postponement date with that stuff or anything. So I need to know what's going on. I need to know what you plan on in the future with your daughter. Are you going to finish basic training or whatever you're doing right now and then come back and expect to be in Charlotte's life? Because I would like to know that. I am setting up a new life with Joey here. That's right. He's in and out, and he's going to be living here one day, most likely. So that's another reason why I call. You left with this order over my head that I was to not allow Joey near Charlotte. And I understood that because I know you love her. But it's weighing on me. It feels like one big guilt trip, and you're not even here. That he's not to change her diaper or go near her. That it's not feasible anymore. So I need you to call me back. And I need you to acknowledge that Joey is in my life. But more importantly, he's in Charlotte's life. And you need to understand that I cannot keep her in one side of the house and him on the other. I never thought you were a bad person. To this day. I still don't buy the excuses. I still don't know why you left.
And I refuse to condemn you, even though I should. I am very upset at you, and I don't think I love you anymore for what you've done. But that I'm not gonna stand here and throw stones and make you out to be the worst person in the world. I don't think you are. I think you have a very big heart, and I think you're a good person, and I genuinely thought that you would make a great dad. But you need to call me back and let me know what you were going to do as a dad, because you are not going to show up when me and Joey are walking out to have a picnic or something and ruin everything. I have been very kind to you in terms of the child support stuff and everything in between. You owe me more explanations. You owe me a lot. So please call me back and let me know what's going on.
Hey, yo, baby. You alright in here?
Yeah, I'm good. I think I'm gonna take a shower real quick. You mind keeping an eye on everyone?
Yeah, of course. Go ahead.
Alright, thanks.
You know, we went to court and we won. And it hasn't even sunken in yet that I have joint custody of Junior again. I haven't even had a minute to enjoy that because of my little conversation about Charlotte with Miranda.
So there it is. You finally had your first fight since getting back together. It's beginning, right?
And it wasn't a fight, it was a discussion. You know, I just have a hard time around the baby. And I haven't gotten to the point where, like, I cherish her or something, you know what I mean? And she feels like she don't want me around him too, out of respect to Brian, which rubs me the wrong way a little bit. But also, like, I have other personal reasons why, you know, she not rubs me the wrong way, but, you know, like, I don't know, I just don't connect with Charlotte yet.
And what are the personal reasons? It's a baby. Even I, you know, after dealing with Chris and all of that, I'd still have a hard time understanding how you could dislike a baby.
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to burden no one with it, including Miranda. It's just, I wish you would understand that Charlotte's a trigger for me. You know, I didn't go to rehab for my mental health like I was supposed to. And that didn't take away what's going on in my head. You know, most of the time me smiling and this and that, it's a front. Like, I feel like a zombie. And when I see Charlotte, it triggers things, man. And I can't explain that to Miranda because she has an emotional attachment to Charlotte, rightfully so.
Well, I've said it once and I'll say it again, and I'm sure Miranda's told you this as well. But Charlotte's here to stay. She is a part of Miranda's life just like her left hand is. You have to get over everything. You have to be an adult. It's never going to go back to the way it was. Things have changed and you have to deal with the new normal.
It's hard to get over all that stuff because every second of every day I'm worried that this man is going to come back. I pretend to Miranda that don't scare me, but it does. The only thing I'll give this man credit for is that he was strong when we had all those supervised visits and he had to deal with me coming into the house and all of that. And still being like Miranda's life. I don't know if I'm that strong. Right now, everything's so good for me and Miranda that we haven't had any conflict, except her mom. And we were on the same page with that. But when it comes to Brian, are we going to be on the same page? You know? I don't want him coming back.
You know, I find it strange that she's not pursuing child support out of him when she was very quick to get it out of you. So are you the reason that she's not? Because you don't want her to have any interaction with him?
Well, I'm not the reason that he's not paying her child support. You think that I would come into her life, I would have a second chance at this, 50th chance, whatever, and I would dare tell her, don't get child support out of this man?
So do you want her to get child support out of him, or are you opposed to it because of all those reasons?
Do I want her to? I'm happy. I'm 100% happy. with her not contacting this man, and yet, like, she did contact him, and I didn't bring it up to her. I saw it on her phone that she called him.
Wait, she called him?
Yeah, I had my headphones in, so I don't know what the call was about. I'm assuming it was benign, because she was in the next room. She knew I was here. You know what I'm saying? But, like, I'm just like her with me. I'm just paranoid. You know, I want this man to stay as far away as possible. Because I love Miranda and I don't want nothing interfering with it.
I don't like that she called him. It's a red flag to me. Grateful that I'm allowed to see my grandson and that we're on good terms, but I really don't want her to screw you over just because you've done terrible things to her.
I don't like it either. It's a tough situation for me because I don't think that I'm ever going to get to the point where I'm going to call this, you know, yeah, it was brought up a few times, but in reality, I don't think I can ever call that girl my stepdaughter. I can't see myself, like, having a real, genuine relationship with her because I remember it being Miranda, Junior, Joey. Not Miranda, Joey, Junior, Charlotte. It's very hard to acclimate to this.
Well, the truth of the matter is, you're still the one with the disadvantage and you're still the one who has to prove himself. So no matter what we like, you have to suck it up and deal with everything because you're not going to cost me to see my grandson again. I'm not going to wind up like her mother.
So after everything I just said, that's what you're thinking of most? Yourself?
Yes, because look around us. We are one big happy family for once. I have no competition. I am getting along with Miranda. You're happy, I'm happy. If he happens to come back into her life, you have to be the bigger person. You have to show everyone that you've changed, and that's the best way to do it. You have to get ready to be friendly with him, to coexist with him.
Friendly with him? Look, I've changed and I've grown, but there's still that.
No, I'm serious, deadly serious. No one is expecting you to behave if he were to ever return. No one's expecting you to take the high road. Your biggest problem is your mind. And for once, you have to control it if you want to keep Miranda. You have to be the bigger person than everyone in this situation and do the most uncomfortable things. Because he won't be prepared for that. And then he will look like the fool. You think he's going to be friendly with you? No. So you turn the tables on everyone, and you kiss that man's ass, and you love his daughter, and you be the person that Miranda needs you to be. Forget what's going on in your head. Forget what the medication is doing to you. Surprise everyone.
You know what, you're right. I need to work on all of this. I need to not fear that man. You're absolutely right. I need to be the one without the problems here. Let Miranda, you know, feel this, whatever she feels with Charlotte. But I need to work on not fearing him, not feeling insecure about him, and not looking at that girl, Charlotte. Not looking at Charlotte like she's some whatever. I need to work on all of this. I need to confront it all. What's that exposure therapy? I instead of like, you know, it's a sign from God. You know, Kristen called me and she was like, I'll tell you everything about Brian and Miranda's relationship. You know, trying to tempt me to get her to FaceTime Junior, all that BS. But I don't need to do that. I can sit down with Miranda and I can ask her everything. I can be like, so what was he better at? What do you like more about him than me? Tell me. And I'll work on myself. I'm going to confront everything. I'm going to be the best man. I want her to be so shocked. They're like, oh, you're asking about that?
And are you prepared to do all that? Are you ready to be that person?
No. Nah. Standing here saying all that to you scares the crap out of me. I can't mentally handle any of that. But if I could face it, If I could have her sit across from me and say like he was more romantic than you, or he cuddled better or something. If I could have her say that to me, bro, I win. He has nothing over me. I need to fix my mental with all of this. And I need to look at her as like my stepdaughter one day. I need to be a better father to her than he is to her, which I already am right now in this moment. Thank you, Mom. You actually helped me today.
Well, you better use that mindset to your advantage.
I will use it. Just like Miranda said the other day when she's looking forward to the caseworker because we're happy, I'm looking forward to it too. I'm looking forward to knocking everybody's socks off.
You're welcome. Maybe this time around you can actually make me proud.